LTU Sports Report is brought to you by the City of Southfield, the center of it all, and Hungry Howie's, famous for flavor.
Hello and thank you for tuning in to another edition of the LTU Sports Report. I'm Alex Johnson. The winter sports season is quickly coming to an end, but no worries. We got plenty of action from over the weekend. Men's volleyball, hockey, and men's and women's basketball. And to keep it going, we start with the hoops from Madonna University.
The Lawrence Tech women's basketball team looks to get revenge from a shocking loss to the Madonna Crusaders earlier in the season. Since that loss, the Blue Devils have gone 6-2. Starting in the first quarter, the Blue Devils just could not buy a basket as they would only put up 4 first quarter points, and they would find themselves down 15-4 at the end of the first. In the second and third quarters, the scoring slump would continue, but the Blue Devils would find light at the charity stripe, shooting at an impressive 80%. However, as the game would continue on into the fourth, the starters for the Blue Devils would struggle. The Blue Devils shot only 16% from behind the arc, and that would not cut it as Lawrence Tech would be stunned again by the struggling Madonna Crusaders, dropping this one 61-56. Madonna would sweep the season series for the first time since 2014. On to the men's side of things, where the Blue Devils are looking to upset the 24th-ranked Madonna Crusaders, and LTU struggled in the first meeting but has been playing a lot better in recent weeks. The Blue Devils got off to a slow start while the Crusaders started fast in the first 5 minutes of the game. LTU would claw their way back after a long ball shot by junior Alec Ivanich, who pulled the Blue Devils within 1 point. And later in the half, freshman Brendan Beavers would nail a 3 to tie the game. However, by the end of the first half, the Blue Devils would find themselves down by 4. Coming back from the break, things would start to slip away for the Blue Devils as Madonna would stretch the lead to 19 points. LTU is no stranger playing from behind and would claw their way back, cutting the Crusaders' lead to 9. But that would dry out the tank for Lawrence Tech as they would go on to drop this game 96-81, your final score.
There are only 4 regular season games left for the Blue Devil basketball teams, and one of those will be inside Down Riddler Wednesday night against rivals Indiana Tech. The women's tip-off is at 6 p.m. and the men's at 8 p.m. Now, on Friday, February 7th, LTU welcomed many for the Presidential Ball at the Mint in Lathrop Village. Let's check it out.
This is the 6th annual Presidential Ball.
It's really an event that brings out students to kind of come together, have a good time. It's a stressful time in the semester. It usually happens around in the winter, middle of winter. Well, actually more towards the end of winter, early spring. So it's the second semester. It's usually tougher. It's a good time for people to come together, kind of forget their studies, and just be able to relax, have a nice night out, nice dinner, dance, drink a little bit. It's a good time. So we have various types of awards that we give out. They kind of change by year, kind of how we feel as an e-board and as student government as a whole, what we want to kind of focus on with organizations. This year we kind of primarily focused on what kind of impacts that organizations would have on campus. So one of them was the Campus Impact Award. Another was, another significant member of an organization that really puts forth a lot of dedication and hard work. So that's primarily the focus. We give out awards, and then usually it's a beautiful dinner, just a good time for people to come together, dance, and just kind of forget their worries.
We won the Campus Impact Award for the Black Student Union, and basically it's just looking at who has impacted the campus the most and who has brought diversity to the campus, as well as including all of the LTU community.
The Blue Devil hockey team had a tough matchup against U of M-Dearborn for the first of 3 games in 3 nights. However, the second game was a special one. It was senior night inside Farmington Hills Ice Arena. I'm one of those seniors on the hockey team and will never forget the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears we put in over the years. And I just want to say thank you to my coaches, my family, and my teammates for making these 5 years really special to me and something I'll never forget. And I'm excited to see what the next 5 years bring for the Blue Devil hockey program.
The Lawrence Tech hockey team celebrates senior night as the D3 team has 3 seniors and the D1 team with 5. These seniors laid it all out on the ice over the course of the last 4 years, and their hard work and dedication to the hockey program will not be forgotten. The D1 team faced the Wolverines of Michigan-Dearborn for the second night in a row, looking to bounce back from a struggling offensive night on Thursday. After allowing 5 goals on Thursday, the Blue Devils defense showed out in the first period as they held the Wolverines scoreless. In the second period, the Wolverines would score, but the Blue Devils would fail to find the back of the net. LTU would be down 1-0 headed into the third period. Now in the third period, the Oxford, Michigan native senior Alex Schluter scores the first goal of the game for the Blue Devils off an assist from sophomores Alec Allen and Sean Pilot. But that would be the only goal for the Blue Devils, as the Wolverines would go on to score 2 more times. Lawrence Tech drops this one on senior night, 3-1 your final score.
We decided that the best way for a good outcome was to play strictly defensive strategies. So a 1-2-2 forecheck, every time go vertical with the puck, chip it out, play real tough in-zone defense. They're a really high-powered offense, so you got to shut them down as best as you can. And we tried to hold them to low score early on and then attack them at the end.
Well, we got a 3-game series with them. We attacked on the defensive side, committed to defensive hockey. It worked well for us, certainly.
One of the last times I'll play in this building and one of the last home games I'll ever play. My career's coming to an end, so it's a little bittersweet. Would have been nice to win this one, but great effort from the guys. It just stings, It stings to lose a tight one like that against a really good opponent.
The Blue Devil hockey team will end their regular season for a home-and-home series versus Cleary starting Friday, February 21st, inside the Farmington Hills Ice Arena at 7 p.m. Also, Blue and White Days are back this Friday, February 14th. Fellas, Valentine's Day, make sure you get something for your special someone. If you're a potential undergraduate student, come take a tour of the Lawrence Tech campus to see what LTU has to offer. For more information, go to ltu.edu right now. The LTU Sports Report will be right back.
We're getting reports that you have over 40,000 flavor combinations.
That's right.
May I examine one, ma'am? Is this real cheese?
100% real mozzarella, officer.
Explain this dough.
Made fresh daily.
I'm gonna have to confiscate this as evidence.
Aren't you a mall cop?
All units, someone's in the fountain.
10-4, Tiger on the prowl.
Treat yourself to the world's first stuffed flavored crust pizza. And now for just $6.99, try our new stuffed Howie bread.
Hungry? Howie's!
Welcome back to the LTU Sports Report. I'm Alex Johnson. The spring season is about to swing into action, and tennis teams are preparing for the upcoming season. Let's check in on the Blue Devils tennis teams.
Once we start our competitions, we will start to pare back a little. We'll work on specific things as opposed to most everything that we need to work on now. We'll have a little more of a track record in regard to maybe focus on a little heavier than we normally would. It's going to be a really tough conference, there are no two ways about it. The girls certainly have some long-range goals for the season, so we're looking forward to getting started. That's the tough part, is to keep these guys engaged enough until we get rolling. Right now, if I were to take a look at where we probably stand at about 3, and we'll push for 2.
Obviously, our goal is to win the conference, and I'm pretty sure if they keep working hard, that's what's going to happen. They're improving every day, and that's what we want to see, and that's really great. But we're definitely working on getting those long rallies and being fit enough to just beat anybody that's going to come at us, and just be ready for those third sets and match tie breaks to just be fresh on the court and fresher than our opponent.
The men look very strong as well. I would guess if we're going to take a stack rank of the men's conference, I think we're probably number 3 this year, and that's probably pretty solid. We have added a new player for the spring who will help us out.
We're coming off of a little bit of a long winter break. Some guys practiced, some guys didn't practice as much as we should have, but we're getting the rust off, and we're getting used to the courts, getting used to hard courts, because a lot of these guys are from out of the country, and we play on clay courts, so it's slow. These are indoor fast courts, so we have to shorten up our swings. We have till February 14th, I think, for the first match, and I think we'll be ready and prepared.
I think we need to work on each aspect of the game. We certainly need to work on our doubles, simply because we're putting some new doubles teams together, but the big thing isn't necessarily wins and losses. It's the idea that they're coming together as a team. Once they become comfortable with each other, then I think the wins and losses will take care of themselves.
The women's tennis team was in action this afternoon versus Spring Arbor. We'll have the highlights of that on Friday's show, so make sure to tune in at 4 p.m. The men's volleyball team continues to make improvements over the course of their season. The Blue Devils had a matchup against Robert Morris on Saturday night, and the team has a good chance of snapping a 2-game skid.
The LTU men's volleyball team played their second home game of the season this weekend at the Don Riddler Fieldhouse against the Robert Morris Eagles from Illinois. This is the second time that the Blue Devils have seen this team, leaving both games with 2 huge wins. Let's get into the action. Starting in the first set, LTU jumps out to a quick 7-4 lead. It would be the 5th-year senior Jacob Page setting up the San Juan, Puerto Rico native Joshua Eckert for the kill, extending the lead to 8-4. The Blue Devils would win the first set 25-13. Moving right along into the second set, Lawrence Tech would continue their dominance as dual sport athlete Max Jewett hits the ball over the net for a kill. LTU wins the second set 25-16. Taking a commanding 2-0 lead into the third set. Heading into the third set, the Eagles came out strong, but LTU continued to battle. As freshmen Austin Cincy and Patrick Newell reach high and block the ball back over the net for a point. This would tie the game at 4-4, but the Eagles would take the third set 25-17. The Blue Devils started the fourth set up 2 on the Eagles. This set would be a lot closer than the first 3. LTU showed some great teamwork as Page dishes the ball to Patrick Newell for a kill. The Blue Devils walk away from this set winning 25-21. 5th-year senior Joshua Eckert finished the match with 13 kills, 4 aces, and 11 digs, along with Jacob Page, who had 27 assists, and Jacob Rajewski, who had 10 digs. The Blue Devils will next be seen in action on Monday, February 10th for their 3rd home game against Olivet College.
So the chemistry is a big point, just because they go to battle every night. They've got to understand on the court, off the court stuff. We got Josh back, which was one of the big additions that we had. He adds a lot offense and defense-wise. He's just got to make sure that the rest of the team understands that they've got to do the details.
That's all the time we have for you today on the LTU Sports Report. The next action for the Blue Devils will be on Wednesday night as the men's volleyball team hits the road to Aquinas for a 7 p.m. matchup. Inside Don Riddler on Wednesday night, the basketball teams take on rivals Indiana Tech. The women's tip-off is at 6 p.m. with the men's at 8 p.m., so come out to the Fieldhouse to cheer your Blue Devils on. Thanks for watching the LTU Sports Report. I'm Alex Johnson. Have a great week, everybody.